if we're in a dome, how high does this thing go? So they start launching high altitude nuclear bombs. And if you look at the videos on Operation Fishbowl and Starfish Prime and all those high altitude tests, I mean, it looks like they're hitting something up there. I mean, at least from a conspiratorial tinfoil hat wearing perspective, that's what it looks like. Now, this is what blew my mind. You can read more on all that if you'd like, to get caught up to speed on what's going on there. So I go to Lubbock, and I'm doing this conference out there at Jared Cressman's father's church, Pastor Dan Cressman. And we get to talking about this whole issue of the flat earth stuff. And he goes, do you know what the name Dominic means? And I said, no. He says, you talk about Operation Fishbowl, but check this out. I'm going to take you to, I'll put the screen share back up here. Take you to a one of those name websites. I like using behindthename.com. Look up the name Dominic. And again, let's just double check it here. Dominic, D-O-M-I-N-I-C. Look up Dominic, D-O-M-I-N-I-C, from the late Latin name Dominicus, meaning of the Lord. Fishbowl was part of Operation Dominic. It looks like they are sending high altitude nuclear bombs to test the fishbowl of the Lord, i.e. the firmament. Yeah, this is definitely one of those things to make you go,
He says we already have probes on the way to Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars, 62. We didn't even allegedly go to the moon until 69. The moon is allegedly 250,000 miles away. Venus and Mars, they're way past that. We had just, as human beings, we had just basically put a beach ball up in space. Sputnik. You look at that. Ooh, that was like a huge major achievement in 57. And all of a sudden, by 61, 62, we supposedly have probes on the way to Venus and Mars, and we haven't even been to the moon yet. And if you listen to the speech, he mentions it, but it's just kind of just, you don't even think about it. But I went on a NASA website, or a space website, whatever it was their official mission log, and it shows you. These are all the things that both the United States and Russia, immediately, after whatever they did in Antarctica, the first thing they do is start sending stuff out to Venus and Mars and start sending high-altitude nuclear bombs up into the sky. Again, if they're trying to avoid a conspiracy, they're not helping with their actions or the names that they're using. So, in my opinion, the stage is set for the return of the gods. Have the Watchers been released? Remember I told you they were bound up for 70 generations? That's from Enoch 10:12 right there. They'll be bound for 70 generations. We were talking about generations earlier. Psalm 90 defines it as a generation of 70 years, 80 if by strength. If we just take the low number there, 70 times 70, is 4,900 years. 4,900 years away from 3000 BC, which is when I showed you the time of the Watchers being judged, bound, and buried. 4,900 years from 3000 BC brings you up to the beginning of the 20th century. Is it just a coincidence that we went from horse and buggy and beast of burden, basically, for 5,000 years, to all of a sudden planes, trains, automobiles, computers, supposedly sending people to the moon, probes to the farthest reaches of space, all of that in like 50 years? Or did we get some help? Maybe due to all the blood sacrifices of 2 world wars. How many know demons thrive on blood sacrifice? That's why they do it. I put this chart together, and I'm looking at Daniel 12:4, talking about knowledge increasing and things of that nature, and showing knowledge and transportation. And at the Tower of Babel, whatever pre-flood knowledge existed took a huge hit at the Tower of Babel.